Hello and welcome to the Whole Being Healing Podcast. I'm Lisa Warner, author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing and co-creator of Whole Being Healing.
And I'm Maura and co-author with my husband Keith of the 7 Steps to Successful Relationships and co-creator with Lisa of Whole Being Healing.
And today we are going to be talking about the greatest lie you have ever been told about your health.
Yep, pretty sure you have been. I think we all have been.
Right? We have been, in many ways, sold a bill of goods about our health and about who we are and about our bodies.
Right? Right, but the lie itself is pretty simple. We've all been taught there's something wrong with me. When something shows up in my body, there's something wrong with me. Or even if it doesn't, a lot of times we feel like there's something wrong with me. But in terms of health, for sure, there's something wrong when something shows up. So is there really something wrong with you? Has that been your experience? Have you been told that? Have you been taught that? Have you been led to believe that there's something wrong with you when you experience something in your body or when your body does something? I don't know, however you want to say it.
Right? When it's uncomfortable, when it's painful, when it appears to be not functioning properly. These are all assumptions that we make about there's something wrong with me or there's something wrong with my body. And
Right.
unfortunately for us, this is a lie.
Well, for that to be true, it would mean that we're not divine beings. It would mean that we weren't created by a creator who made us perfect and wonderful and yeah. And to me that just doesn't make sense because when you look at how the body works, it's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like how all of nature works and then how our bodies work, it's amazing. It's amazing what our bodies have within them, what we can do. And so to have it be that, there's always going to be something wrong, something's always going to go wrong. Does that make sense?
Right? When I found myself facing cancer, I was I was terrified. I was like, "Oh my God, there's something wrong with my body. This is awful." And it was so stressful and scary and it was not a fun time, let's say. And when I finally got quiet enough to start to ask questions. I knew that the medical model was not for me. I knew that the doctors didn't hold my answers. I knew inherently that I was the creator of my reality and that if I had created that, I had created it from my unawareness. I didn't intentionally create cancer, obviously. But I knew that if I had created it, I could also uncreate it. And if I had created it, I was the only one who could uncreate it. And I started to ask questions about what do I actually know about what's happening to my body? What do I actually know for certain within myself?
Mm,
When the answer finally really appeared and it became completely obvious to me, the answer came and it said, "Hey, Lisa, there's nothing wrong with your body. Your body is functioning exactly as it is designed to function, given the input you are providing."
right? And even that doesn't mean there's something wrong with me. Oh no, I did something wrong. I provided the
Right?
wrong input. It's like, no, we're just living our lives the best we can, and we're just dealing with the stuff out there that's pulling us into it and all these things. But if there was something wrong with us, then that means we need to be fixed, right? And some outside authority needs to tell us what the fixing is, and then we need to like have this fixing happen, and then we'll be all good. But is
Mhm.
that like most of the time that's not even what happens. when the fixing happens, there's just more fixing that needs to be done. So there's another clue that maybe that's not really true.
Mm, right. And there's a clue in how we talk about our biological functions. Our bodies are biological. Our
Hmm.
bodies are intelligent. They are created from divine intelligence, source intelligence, the intelligence of life itself, the intelligence of nature. Our bodies are part of the natural world, and it's filled with intelligence. Our bodies are always working on our behalf. Unfortunately for us, we're not always working on our behalf. We're not always utilizing the power of our imagination, which is how we create. We use it to go, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Why is this happening? What's going to blah, 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 and all of these looping thought patterns. And all of the looping thought patterns work directly against us.
Yeah, well, I mean, we think the opposite, right? We feel like, oh, we have to think these thoughts, or then we're not going to find out what's wrong with us and fix it, right? If I don't think there's something wrong with me, then what's going to happen? Whatever, it's going to be bad. But think about it. What would happen if you stopped thinking there was something wrong with you? If you stopped being afraid of what your body was doing? If you started allowing yourself to be peaceful? If you started allowing yourself to be curious? Is it possible you might learn how to reconnect with creator, with source, with inner knowing, with your body, with the natural world that we're all part of and totally connected to?
And what would happen if you were able to absolutely 100% trust your body and trust yourself? What if you could trust your inner guidance? What if you were so connected to the truth of who you are and to the divine, to source intelligence, that you could simply guide yourself through your own inner guidance, through that own direct conversation with source itself? What if you could always direct your own healing? And what if you could live so aligned with the natural world and the truth of who you are that you didn't get out of alignment, that you didn't fall out of alignment, that your body didn't have to reflect the out of alignmentness that's going on? What if that was also a thing? What if that's where the health comes from to begin with? What if health is a direct reflection of your state of alignment?
Hmm. Yeah, and the word that was coming to me too was flow. What if you could be in the flow of life
Mhm.
with ease, with joy? What if life could be playful and fun? What if you could have just one great experience after another? Whether you were doing something amazing, whether you're doing nothing, whether you're by yourself, whether you're connecting with someone, it could just be a peaceful and beautiful experience. And so we're really kind of conditioned to believe that that's what we're going for, and that that's going to be the outcome of whatever we do to fix whatever's wrong. But what if doing that is the way to get there? What if choosing to be peaceful, choosing to be in the flow, just making the decision, knowing that you have the power to do that, knowing that that's who and what you are, your love, your pure love.
Wouldn't that be amazing? I think we're really taught to think of that as like a pipe dream, like a, a utopian reality that's not within our grasp. We have been so immersed and inundated in this chaotic world that is greatly off balance, that we have been conditioned to believe that that's all there is, that the chaos and confusion is all there is, and that we can't really escape that, that the dis-ease of the world just is, and it's all there is, but it's not.
And we've kind of embodied it. We've kind of like taken it into ourselves, that chaos and confusion, and mistaken what's out there for what's in here, and thinking that it's us that are in chaos and confusion, that there's, again, something wrong with us.
Mhm.
What if that's not the case?
What if who we are is a soul, first and foremost, forever and always? What if we are non-physical beings, embodied in physicalness? What if we are not our bodies? What if there can never be anything wrong with us at the soul level, at the core essence of who you are? There is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing in this physical realm that can touch you, that can harm you in any way, shape, or form.
And what if when you know that completely and confidently and purely, it allows your body to say, oh, okay, I can support that. That's my natural way of being. That's easy. I can do that. Let's do that. I'm so glad you decided to do that.
Right? What if healing doesn't come from a pill, but comes from remembering the truth of who you are, so that you
Mhm.
can live as a grand being of light, so that you can live as the creator of your own reality, so that you can create a reality that you love, a life that you love, in a body that you love, being the being that you love to be.
Mm.
What if this is the ultimate form of healing? Is to become the version of yourself that you love to be.
Right? So the question that you could ask yourself right now is, what could I do right now? What simple thing could I do right this minute that would be in alignment with that? It might be a thing you get up and do. It might be a shift of your thoughts. It might be a smile on your face, you know? Like there's a million different things you could choose to do right now. And the only thing in the way of that is the beliefs that we have been fed, that we've accepted, let's put it that way. Any beliefs that you've accepted that have gotten in the way of that. That's all.
Mhm.
So that's why we're telling you this right now. So you can maybe question those beliefs.
Right? What if you are fully capable of healing yourself? And what if it has nothing to do with trying to fix your body? Because what if your body is not broken? What if trying to fix your body is not actually the answer?
Mhm.
What if remembering that there is nothing wrong with you, remembering the truth of who you are, remembering your own divine intelligence? What if this is where the answer lies? Because when I was going through the brunt of my healing process, it was very obvious to me that I was living out of alignment with myself and with life. I was constantly stressed, constantly worried, constantly wondering, why don't I fit in? What's wrong with this place? What's wrong with me? Why can't I make my life work? You know, all. struggling with debt, struggling with doubt, struggling to fit in in a world that I really didn't want to fit into. And it was very clear to me that all of that was what was generating the physical condition. I
Hmm.
knew that if at the core of my being, I was just peaceful and happy and just living in a world where everything was just easy, where people supported each other, where people lived in community together peacefully and happily, where everybody knew where they could contribute and fit in. And it was like if I was living in that kind of a world, then I'm sure I would be perfectly fine. But I realized I can't change the external world, but I can change my world. And when I started to recognize that, oh, I have the power to change me, then the funny thing is the external world started to change as well. My
Yeah.
body started to heal, everything started to come back into balance, and life started to get a lot more fun and a lot simpler and a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the same with me in my original healing process where uh everything was so heavy. It was like when I was listening to you describe it, I was like, yeah, it's like one piece on top of another, on top of another, on top of another, on top of another, right? And it gets so there's so much resistance going on, but you don't realize it because it's just one little thing after another and it builds up. And yeah, it's true that what we're experiencing isn't what we want to be experiencing. And yeah, it's true that the stuff out there is crazy and it's not how life should be. But who's in charge of that? It's like when we think that we're victims of that, that gets really heavy, right? And then the body's like, "Oh, you're a victim. Oh."
Right.
Let me let me see what I can do. I don't know. I'm not really built for that, but let me see what I can do to help you be a victim.
Mhm. Yeah. So, what if the greatest lie you have ever been told is there's something wrong with you?
Yeah.
Are you willing to really take a look at that? Are you willing to notice that that's the automatic response that we have been programmed to have as soon as we feel an ache or a pain or we notice something that we don't understand happening with our bodies? The automatic response is, oh no, there's something wrong with me. Let me go ask somebody else to tell me what's wrong with me.
Yeah. And that points to what is needed in order to break that pattern. What we discovered was needed was for us to go more within, was for us to connect more with ourselves and our own bodies and find our own knowing, find our own authority, find out who we really are, connect with the source of our creation and get the answers from there rather than going to outside so-called authorities for those answers.
Yeah.
That's what we found. Not to say there's nothing helpful on the outside. You could certainly have conversations with people that can be supportive. But if you're um, dealing with structures and systems that want to tell you there's something wrong with you and that you need to be fixed, and that they're going to give you something that's going to fix you, that's something I would recommend questioning.
Right? What if all of the answers lie right within your own consciousness? What if all answers come from within? What if you have the power? And what if there is nothing wrong with you? So we hope this conversation has been helpful to you today. Just a short popping in to tweak some awarenesses, to spark some internal questions, to start to spark some expanded thought patterns here.
Yeah.
Because if we are to live healthy and happy, we have to start to recognize that there isn't anything wrong with us. and that we
Yep,
have the power.
we do have the power. And take a note from what's behind us. We put our nature backgrounds today. Maybe you can connect with nature today in some way. If you weren't already planning on it, maybe you can find a way, whether it's in your imagination or in the actual reality. So think a new thought and enjoy your day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today. Until next time, happy
Happy healing.
healing.
Love you.